Hi everybody, Robert Nash here again with Nash Holdings. How's everybody doing? Thank you for visiting our website and viewing this video to help teach you and educate you to our newest additions to Nash Holdings, our IPO with our common stock through the United States Securities Exchange Commission filing Regulation D 506C, which is part of a direct offering now with the new Jobs Act, where we can offer stock shares to accredited investors directly with a subscription investor agreement. We at Nash Holdings are very excited. We made a merger and launched a new company, NOMAD Exploration, back in February with our very close partner of mine, very close friend, who I call my secret weapon, and we have to keep confidential with many of the things in this area due to the proprietary nature of the information. Now, our presentation for Nomad Exploration is now on our website. Our website, again, as you should know, is nashholdingsinc.com, and our presentation cover page looks like this, and the presentation is in PDF format. It's on the website in several tabs: the Gold or Development tab, the News tab, Invest tab, and the About tab. So 3 or 4 different areas. And in this video and the presentation will help educate our current business partners and investors and future investors and partners to what we are doing. So Nash Holdings is a very transparent company. As you'll see on the website, we've been a member for 5 years with corporate responsibility and commit form in the past. These are the top Fortune 500 and plus companies that are working with sustainability and transparency, with everything from financials and philanthropy and private charitable contributions, and also paying women the same as men, and doing everything as much as possible to be corporately responsible to help build the world in a better business attitude, really. And we're very proud of that. In 3 of those years, we were a featured gold member company. Now, with Nomad Exploration, what we have done now is we've brought huge value. We currently co-own over 1,000 acres. We have another 1,000 to 3,000 to be added to that in the next month or two. So I would say by end of August, we would have a total of 3,000 to 4,000 acres. And many of those will be filed, all of those will be filed with load claims or block claims to the Bureau of Federal Land Management and State Management as required. Now, let's talk about a little bit about why this is so valuable to Nash Holdings. We are discussing here many precious metals: gold, silver, copper, platinum, palladium, uranium, zinc, tungsten, iron ore, all which we have samples and assay reports back on findings that these precious metals are on our claims, and we will do the same techniques of finding precious metals with our partner, which includes land and air surveillance with helicopters, his long decades of experience with looking for the pathfinders, all of the new developments, as you'll see on the website, with ultraviolet shortwave black lights to be able to find different at nighttime, to be able to let those rocks stand out with the different glowing colors that they will have, and that we can identify. And many of the minerals and precious metals can be seen from aerial view and then drop down through helicopter to get a quick sample. So the samples we have sent to the lab so far are the beginning samples. Now, as we go down the road with the next 6 months, 3 months, 6 months with investment, we will start to do 500 to 2,000 feet deep drilling rock sample to pull out the rocks and then show the real large deposits. Once we get to that point, we will then be able to contract with large mining companies, and we will target 3 different opportunities. One would be that where we could sell certain claims, percentage of the acreage to the mining company for multi-millions of dollars, and or lease the claim for like a 1-year leasing period. And either way, we also, besides the money we would receive on an agreement of lease or sale, multi-millions of dollars. These mining companies invest billions of dollars when they know there's strong assay reports, 500, 1,000 feet deep or more, with copper, gold, silver, etc. So we would also retain 1 to up to maybe 2% of the royalties with the mining companies that they pull out as a royalty extra profit percentage, which would also be shared with our investors. So our investors, right now we have it set up with a $25,000 block. You could buy as many block units as you'd like. So an investor could buy 10 block units, 50 block units, or 1 block unit. And that block unit of 25,000 is for Nash Holdings stock shares, 25,000 common shares. And so when we do enter the stock exchange, either NASDAQ or New York Stock Exchange in the next year or two, you'll have those 25,000 shares or more, depending on how much you invest, at a big discount. So when we, as I would anticipate, and what I'm planning to do with the team is we are looking to go onto the big cap market, which costs, basically requires $50 million in assets in the bank. So when we have $50 million of assets in Nash Holdings, we don't have to go to the penny stocks, the small cap, the mid cap. We can go right to the big cap with the Fortune 1000s and worldwide companies that are on the big cap. If we succeed, as I plan to with the big cap, we could open up at 10 to 20 bucks or more a share with our Wall Street underwriters, underwriting our IPO as we come down to the last 30 days of receiving our consent letter from the SEC, Securities Exchange Commission, and our ticker symbol, etc. And then our Wall Street underwriting team, our attorneys, and of course our board would agree to what stock price we should open up to on opening day. So it's very interesting to the things that are happening now with everything with the Securities Exchange Commission. For instance, we will be filing our new cryptocurrency in the future too, for Nash Cash crypto coins and virtual currency. So all the current crypto, many of that has been shut down. 75% of all crypto that's been out there for the last 5-10 years have been shut down as Ponzi schemes or breaking federal U.S. laws with our allies around the world for banking, transparency, money laundering, etc. The ones that are still open, like Bitcoin and the other 25%, they are mostly now being watched and have received subpoenas to become more transparent. And they will either become more transparent and stay alive, or if they don't, then they'll be highly regulated and probably shut down. The new cryptocurrency is Regulation S and Regulation A+, which our attorneys that we anticipate to be using have a huge background as employees with prosecutors, as prosecutors with the U.S. federal government and the Securities Exchange Commission. So what better attorneys to have in our corner than former employees that were prosecuting fraudulent Ponzi schemes and crypto virtual currencies that will be filing ours properly with the new regulations that the world is going to be requiring for transparency. So just wanted to touch base a little bit on that. Also, we have our international gold partnerships, which we are working with Africa, with some of our representatives, especially Nelson Ga, who's an executive team member of Nash Holdings. And Nelson is working to bring it. We're finalizing, actually we have another call tomorrow, to receive international gold at discounts of 5 to 10%, in some cases more, depending on how much the investor wants to buy. And that's a very exciting move for us as well, to be able to offer gold nuggets and kilos of gold, 22 karat, etc., with proper companies that are transparent from Africa and other international countries. So now getting back to Nomad Exploration, as you also see on the website, there is a picture of a full claim that's filed to the BLM, Bureau of Land Management. And when you click on that picture, that's on the gold ore development tab. It will open up a picture of all 50 of our claims filed photos. And of course, they are sanitized. We cannot show like exactly what states they're in and where the actual areas are of the claims that are filed, because of proprietary confidential information. Of course, we don't want other people trying to come up and stake their claims around us where we've found precious metals. That's perfectly understandable. The other part that I want to explain to you about with the claims is that we additionally, for the investor, not only owning the stock shares, but they will own a part of the claim and the land mineral rights with us for each block of investment, and which would include that they are free to come out and they can camp, they can prospect on the land if they'd like to prospect around where we might have some mining with the large mining development companies exploring and pulling the precious metals from the ground. They can hike, and we'll welcome that and educate people to that with our investors as we go along. So that's another additional bonus for the investors. So the early investors, we're actually offering a great a generous opportunity for us. So right now, as an investor buys, say, one block of $25,000, he will receive 25,000 shares of Nash Holdings future through investment agreement, and he will receive a small percentage of the first 1,000 acres. If you buy 10 blocks, you'll have a larger percentage of the first 1,000 acres. But the early get-in investors for the next month or two, we're offering them the same percentage on our next 1,000 acres, which will bring us up to 2,000 acres. So not just the first 1,000 acres for this investment, they will receive a limited time special for where they would receive the same percentage as a generous bonus of the next 1,000 acres. So that's the first 1,000 and the second 1,000 acres. They would receive the same percentage. And that's a limited time. After we bring in so many investors with that, we will cut that off. So it's important for people to make their decision to come in and invest with us and fill out the subscription agreement and get in as early as possible. Now, as some of you know, I've made several trips over to the UAE. My first trip to Turkey and Istanbul back in April and May. So I was again over in Abu Dhabi and Dubai, and we have welcomed and with open arms Gönül Yüksel and Berkan Erkan on our executive team, and they are also investment partners. They've invested money in the company in several ways, and they are introducing us to new business partners in not just Turkey, but even in America. There are thousands of American Turkish business owners that we will be targeting to come in and invest with us with this next funding round with Nash Holdings IPO and the NOMAD exploration opportunity. As well as UAE. I have recently met an incredible person that I feel is very strong with his businesses in the UAE. He's on the board of several large companies, and I met him at the Dubai Art Show back in April, and we are discussing himself representing the company to bring in investors from the UAE and to build more partnerships. And the first thing they're interested in, of course, is NOMAD exploration. That was the first interest he talked about when I met him back in late April. So, as you see, we are going global as well, and we are reaching out. We have Adam Greenwell has been added to the company from New Zealand. Adam, thank you for joining the company. He's reaching investors in New Zealand and Australia and worldwide. He has a large experience with UNESCO and the United Nations with his mother, her past with doing some things with the United Nations with philanthropy and charitable causes in Africa as well. So we look to be accelerating that shortly in the next few months and into the future years. UNESCO, of course, has been speaking to me for Nash Holdings to play a bigger part of UNESCO and the United Nations, and we'll see where that takes us in the future. So now, getting back to the respect of getting in quickly with our new and second funding round with Nash Holdings stock shares, the interest that is happening with gold right now down 2% in just July alone. As we know, gold historically is the most valuable precious metal, really. That's the common metal worldwide. Of course, there are other metals that are more valuable but are more scarce. So this is the best time for people to reconsider not just investing in a good holdings platform like Nash Holdings with our stock shares, with our real estate development, our future plans with companies like our aloe vera company, our education with the credit fixing and finance instructional course and book we have, our dental partner, we have our private airport partner here in New York, with John and his wife Denise that we want to put money into over 100 acres. We have a private airport strip. We can bring that project property to a manufacturing location, have some VIP properties built, 5 or 10 luxury homes for people that want to be able to fly in on a private airstrip into New York with us as partners. And what a perfect area of upstate New York that we're in, with the Finger Lake region, close to the Canadian border, not too far from New York City, and along the New York Thruway, the wine region, the casinos now that are popping up with Turning Stone and new casinos now that have been licensed in New York. But many interesting things. We're right dead center in Syracuse, New York area, which is the bullseye of the New York State map. Dead center of the New York State map. A great location area for our business partners to come in with us and like I said, get involved with the airport and invest with us there. Besides being an investor of stock shares in the Nash Holdings also. So getting back to Nomad Exploration, we are looking for 35% to give to investors to come in. So that's 35% of 100% ownership of the company. That will raise about $14 million for the first 1,000 acres. And then every 1,000 acres will be a new investment for new investors that want to come in. Now, I do believe that we'll have some larger chunks being sold to, like I said, our UAE partner Abdul Hadi and his group, and also with Gönül and Berkan with Turkish American business owners and businesses in Turkey. We do have some people working with us that some parts of Turkey, even high level with the government, are interested in Nash Holdings and investing with the company and learning more about what we can do. As my 2-week trip in Istanbul was fantastic. By the way, Istanbul, very westernized city. I would say it's about 2 to 3 times larger than Manhattan as far as geographical miles. They have different parts of the city that have high-rise buildings. They're not all in one area. They're decentralized. And, of course, the huge historical port of Istanbul with the Black Sea to the north, the Mediterranean to the south. The people there were very gracious to me, as I was there, and I couldn't have been treated better in all circumstances. So I'm very interested in building new relationships, especially with the American Turkish business associations and all business associations. Of course, we welcome everybody with open arms. So I hope this video has helped to motivate you, to have you go and review the website more, review our Nomad Exploration presentation, which goes into detailed information. It shows our lab report orders. It shows the first assay reports come back with high levels of copper and silver, gold, and other metals. And those are on the first samples. Remember, those are shallow rock samples. When we move towards the next month or two, we will be doing 500 to up to 2,000 feet direct vertical drilling rock samples and hopefully hitting the deposits that we believe are there. So until next time, stay positive, stay in tune with the website. Let's take any questions you have. You can contact me by 315-652-2274 here in New York, my direct office number. Also, our email, you can email me at bobnash@nashholdingsinc.com. That's on the contact page of our website as well. And we're looking forward to building relationships. And we want you as a new investor, come in, anticipate profits with us. And I think you'll be very happy with what we have and what we put together. And I picture every couple of years we'll have an additional 2 or 3 more business models that we can offer with the holdings, and also private partners. All of our business ventures in the beginning do not need to be under Nash Holdings. We could have some also separate business ventures that would be outside Nash Holdings umbrella, with the possibility that in the future that they are transferred under Nash Holdings. So anyone who owns the stock, that would increase our stock value of the company, our company value, and the stock share price to go up and increase. So all investors would be happy with the increase, of course, like any company, as the stock price increases. So until next time, have a great summer. And we hope to hear from you. And we hope that you come in as an investor. And we hope that you stay in tune with Nash Holdings. Thank you very much. Have a great time.